All right, now we're going to work with some text formatting. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to, um, let's see, come to the cell styles now and work with that in order to make some changes. But before I do that, if I wanted to change just the color of the font, I could come and, we're asked to stay with kind of the aqua themes for this example. And so I'd like to make Nigel dark, which I'll do. And then I'd like to actually add a fill that helps that stand out. And so I'm going to choose this little paler accent here, and then that makes that particular colors stand out. We can do the same things, with any individual cells, or you can select a bunch of cells to save them at the same time. And then what we'll do next is use the cell styles to change the appearance of some text. So if I wanted to make, say, my total revenue be a heading 2, I can select that there, and I can make my total expenses stand out with that same heading 2. You can see how these formats are divided by titles, in this case, or themed cell styles, or data and model, or just some general color schemes. So you can work with what you want here. I could change that also. And then if I wanted to use cell styles where I maybe use some of these accents, I could certainly do that if I thought that would help make that information stand out. If I change my mind after I've added some styles, I can clear all. I don't want to do that right now because I'll just be adding it back in. But I could clear contents, and that would erase the cell, or just clear the formats, and then it would go away. So that's if you make a mistake and change your mind with either what you typed in a cell or how you formatted the cell, you can use that or erase the whole works, whatever you have highlighted. Now I'd like to make my numbers stand out a little bit because I can see that looking at these different sections that I have added both sales and consulting to get the answer that I have for total revenue. And I can see I've got a formula in there to do that. So I can use the borders in order to make it look like I'm summing a column, which I am, and then giving the answer. And these change a little bit from what we saw when we were in Word. So you'll notice once again I highlighted all 3 of these cells because I'm going to change them at the same time. And I want to add a top and a double bottom border. And so when I do that, you can see that it's the sum line, and then a little double line says I'm done with it. I'm going to do the same thing to my total expenses because I've added all of these expenses together. If I look at the formula here, I've summed or added this range of cells to get this answer. And I'm not going to set anything off with my cumulative or profit right now. I'll come back to that. Next thing I'm going to do is I want to format all of my totals so that I have some dollar sign symbols showing. And when I come over to the numbers section, I've got a couple of different ways of doing this. This would be a general number, and you notice that I can also access the euro or the Chinese yen as I'm working with that. I can come to this general, and this gives me word pieces. The difference between accounting and currency is currency makes the dollar sign symbol stay by right next to the number, and accounting it puts the dollar sign symbol on the left side of the cell, and you'll see this in a moment. So let's choose accounting with our total revenue range of cells, and notice that it automatically gave me 2 decimal places. When I have 2 decimal places, the dollar sign symbol goes right next to the number. But if I don't want those decimals to show, notice right here I've got an increase and decrease decimal, just like over in the alignment section I have increase or decrease alignment. And I can come here and I can say decrease my alignment, decrease my decimals so that everything shows as 0 decimals. Now, if I opened up this number formatting dialog box here, you'll notice it shows custom right now. But if I go to the accounting and I say, all right, I'd like to have my $sign symbol, and I'd like 0 decimal places, and oh, by the way, what kind of symbol do I want to use from the list that's here, and there's a whole bunch of them. So if you're dealing with different currency, you can most likely find that symbol, but click on OK, and it does the same thing. So whichever system works best for you is what you should use when you're asked to format these. So I'm going to go ahead, and since I know I don't want any decimal places in these cells, I'm going to go with the accounting, and I'm going to change it right away to 0 decimal places, and I'm going to format all of these cells in exactly the same way. These tabs also allow us to change other pieces. We've already looked at the alignment piece, and so you could add borders here, change fonts here, add fill. So if you knew you were doing a bunch of changes to the same cells, you kind of get one-stop shopping here when you're doing that. So now I consistently have my numbers formatted. The last thing that I want to do here is see, I'm just looking ahead to see what I haven't gone over yet, is you can use continue to use the find and replace for formatting. So let's say that I want to change the color of these answers from black to this same deep lavender. Okay, and I could use my format painter, but I want to show you one more thing. If we open the Find and Replace dialog box, this is pretty cool, and we select the Format button here on the Find, and so if we come here and we say, in this case, I want to change the color. Let's see, I'm going to just see what I have selected here for changing that. Oh, here we go. If I want to find something in this dialog box, and let's say I want to find, and I'll go from, or I'll say choose the format from the cells, and no, that's not what I wanted either. I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to say I want to replace that range of cells with this deep purple color, okay? And I want to replace there. Oh, probably because I know what I did. Here's why it's not working for me, because I made my change here, okay? And so this find and select might work better if I was making some changes just to some text here, and if I wanted to look for, let me do it this way, okay, without any cells selected. I am going to change, I really don't want to do this, but if I wanted to find any italics and replace, let's see, let me try this again. Find italics, okay, and replace with bold italics. There we go. Okay, and then I can say replace all or replace one at a time. It's saying it can't find italics for me, so that's really interesting. But in theory, that's how that particular feature would work, and it is pretty cool that you can say find italics, which we see a preview of here, and replace with that. I've set it up correctly, not sure why it's not finding it. So anyways, in theory that's how that works, but with the Format Painter you can also paint things pretty quickly. So you now have the tools you need to complete the